So question 4 on page 86. I'm going to show you how to do that. There's a table there. So the first thing we're going to do is add over to a spreadsheet. Now you're going to have to bear with me because I can't remember how to do this. Alright, I'm going to name that spreadsheet, what did you call it yesterday, Jess? Pop.
Yeah. Pop.
Okay, and column B is going to be num. Alright, so pop and num, so for population and number. Okay, and then I'm just going to go through and I'm going to go down column A, the population. I'll just make sure that's focused properly. And I'm going to fill in all the numbers. So the first one is 110. Alright, so I'm just going to go fill down. No, I did 120.
Where did you get 120 from?
120. There is no 120. What am I up to now? Now you've confused me.
It's not 120.
Alfie, I got numbers when I put in numbers next to me.
You got numbers.
Like I actually got numbers when I put numbers in.
That's weird.
Yeah, but I've got numbers I press enter.
You don't click enter, do you? You press down.
I did, but I still can't.
So you've got numbers in your column below. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So what that means for you is you've got a column called that somewhere else with data in it.
Yeah, we done it last.
All right.
How many numbers are there?
According to this, 11.
What was the 11th one?
190.
Oh, 190.
What? I'm putting those numbers in there.
All right. Now I'm going to go through and fill in the num one.
I'm copying that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what we're doing?
Oh.
5?
What are
Yeah.
you doing?
Use the question in the book, Mitch.
Isn't that what we're doing? Yeah, 170, 170.
Oh, it's a 6 there, not a 5.
I know.
Now they line up. That's the first thing. Someone
Oh.
yesterday,
How to do that?
where they didn't line up. Well, how did it do what?
Why do you have numbers in your number column?
Because I filled them in off the table.
Oh, so
All right. So fill in the number and the population from the table in the book. All right. From there, it says the whole idea behind this question is construct a scatter plot for the data and use it to comment on the direction, form, and strength of any relationship between these. So we need to work out if there's a relationship, what form it takes, which means linear or nonlinear, and perhaps how strong that relationship is. All right. So it does tell you how to do it on the calculator if you go back to page 84. Shut up, email. Alright, so if you head back to page 84, it tells you how to do it. We've done the first step. We've got our list and columns all set up. To draw the scatter plot, now this is different on those white calculators, isn't it, Jess? Slightly? I thought it was different. Alright, so you press home.
Do we press home with white calculators?
Yep. Now, according to me, I press 5, and it says to press 5, but I don't think it actually means press 5. I think it means go across to the 5th one.
We haven't even got number 5 on ours.
No, 5 is settings. I made that mistake yesterday.
Oh, yeah, that is.
We haven't
Okay.
got 5 on the one.
So you head over to, where's my little mouse? Here.
Tab.
Alright, so you head over to the graphs, data and statistics tab. Okay? Okay, press enter. Alright, and mine's sort of already done it. Okay?
Mine is different to yours.
So yours will probably look different to mine. Mine's a clean calculator. I don't have anything in there. It says the first thing you need to do now is press tab. And it's popped up down the bottom here with click to add variable. You might not be able to see that on here, and which variable it is. So we need to work out which variable is the independent variable. So does the amount the population of an area together with the number of primary schools have some sort of relationship? We think they do. So do you think the number of primary schools depends on the population, or the population depends on the number of primary schools?
Populations.
Population depends on the number of primary schools. So the number of primary schools determines how many people live in an area.
Oh, you can
It's the other way around, isn't it? So it's the population, and the number of primary schools depends on how much you need in terms of the population. So the number of primary schools is dependent, which means population is independent. So I'm going to choose population as the independent. Now, I've done something funny to my graph. Okay? Now you need to say, Well, the next step is to press tab again,
Now you do the tab.
okay, and choose the vertical one. Okay, now that was number, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, here we go.
so now I have a scatter plot. Okay,
Mine looks the same.
so now we've done it. Question done. The hard bit, I think. What sort of relationship is there?
Positive.
A positive,
Positive, linear,
linear,
Moderate.
a moderate, positive, linear relationship. So what does that mean in terms of the variables, guys? You're right, you're dead on right. I would say positive, moderate, linear. But what does it mean in terms of the variables? Because when you're doing... Sorry? Yeah, but what does it mean in terms of variables? I'll give you the answer in a second. I just want to explain what I'm doing first. When you're doing a worded question, and this counts for exams as well, you have to relate it back to the variables. Okay? So the variables here is the population and area and the number of primary schools in that area. So we would be saying that the population of an area has a moderate positive impact on the number of primary schools in that area. Does that make sense? You said moderate, positive, linear. Now if you relate that back to the variables, it means the more the population goes up, so the further the population goes up, the more primary schools you get. Okay? That's what you need to be saying. You need to relate it back to those variables. Easy done?